Hello students, welcome to my today's video tutorial on Tableau. Last week, if you remember, I introduced you to this business analytics and business intelligence platform called Tableau, and also I showed you how you can actually download and install this software. Today I'm gonna start teaching you how to import data, do some basic data preparation and cleaning, and then create some meaningful and useful visualizations, and then finally create a simple dashboard. With that in mind, I should also tell you that this is for beginners. I'm going to be, trying to be as detailed in my instructions as possible. But again, you can feel free to ask any questions if you don't understand any particular area of this tutorial. So before I start, I'll show you again where you can go to download the software. So if you type Tableau Public and do a search, so the first link that you're going to get is Tableau Public Free Data Visualization Software. You just need to go click on that link, and then you can put in your email address here and click on this button called download the app. So depending on which operating system you're using, whether it's Windows or Mac, or whether it's 32-bit Windows or 64-bit Windows, you will be downloading different versions. So as you might have noticed that I'm using my MacBook to prepare this tutorial, but I can tell you that my version of Tableau for MacBook is pretty similar to the version that they have for Windows. So there won't be any issue for you to actually follow my tutorial at all. So I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to open the software. All right, so this is how it looks like when you open your Tableau software for the first time. So here on the left hand side, you will see all the different types of data connection that you can make. So starting with Microsoft Excel, and today's tutorial is based on data set that is compiled in Microsoft Excel. I'll show you first, I think, how the data is compiled. So I'll take you to, I'll minimize this for a second, and then I'll show you. So yeah, so if you go here, data sources, data group. So I've basically downloaded this data set from World Bank Group website, and these are publicly available data. Anyone can have access to this data. So the first spreadsheet that I have here in this Excel workbook shows you the world population data starting from 1968 to all the way up to 2017. That's the latest data that they publish on their website. And then I have GDP per capita data, again starting from 1968 all the way up to 2017. So the next one you can see is the GDP per capita PPP, purchasing power parity adjusted. And for this data set, they have only from 1990. So I may not actually use this, but I can have it with me. If I want, I can use that too. And then we have here the GDP growth in annual percent terms, starting from 68 and all the way up to 2017. 2017, and that's for all the countries in the world. Um, and finally, I have actually compiled the data, and cleaned them. If you notice, it's actually different to what the original data looked like. So originally the data were formatted or organized in this way, but now I have compiled them in this structure because it is easier for me to do the analysis on Tableau in this format. So 60 for all the countries for 68 first, and then once 68 is completed, then 69 starts, and that's how it goes all the way up to 2017. So it's stacked one year on top of the other. So that's how it is organized at the moment. And then we have population data here, GDP per capita, and GDP per capita, PPP adjusted, and then we have GDP growth in annual percent terms. So that's about the data, and I'll show you how I actually transform the format from the original format to this format. I did that on Tableau, so I'm going to show you quickly how I did that. So you can pull the data by clicking on this. So the first workbook that I'm going to show you is this one. So you have all the spreadsheets in that Excel workbook here. You can see what each spreadsheet contains. So you can click on that, and you can see what data each spreadsheet has. So you can see that this is the compiled one, and also if you click on this, you can see that this is the population data, so and so on. So you can have a look. Alternatively, you can actually bring the spreadsheet here. You can drag it and drop it here, or you can double click, and then the data will appear here in this data pane. Tableau has automatically identified that these are geographic data, so the name of the country. So that's why it's showing the globe sign here, and so the country is ticked here. So I'm going to show you quickly how I transform the data into the format that I wanted. So that's called pivoting in Tableau. So you need to just select the columns that you want to pivot, and then you need to right click and click on this called pivot. So, and then it changes the format. So now you can just add additional columns to show growth rate and so on. So you just need to change the title here. So you can change it to population, and also this you can change it to here, and these are country names, so you don't have to change it. So you can again see that after 68, 69 starts, and then it just goes on like that, 70, and then 71, and so on. So it goes all the way up to 2017. On Tableau, if you notice, it shows only 1,000 rows, but don't worry, the data is there. So it's just not showing it. You can see the format, so it's only for your viewing of the format. So you can actually export this data. You just need to select the columns, and then you need to go to data, and then you can export data to CSV. So I'm not going to do it now because I've already done all of that and compiled that in a separate sheet. So I'm going to work on that sheet, but this is only for you to learn how to do that. You can do it yourself with your own data if you need to. So I'm going to remove this, close this, and then open a new spreadsheet. Alright, so I want to now connect to a different spreadsheet that I've just compiled. So that's this one. So it has the compiled data in it. So you can see this is how the data set looks like after compilation. The country name, year, population, GDP per capita, PPP, GDP growth in annual percent terms. So our data is ready. Now the next thing we need to do is click on this worksheet. This is called worksheet in Tableau. So you need to click on that. This is the first worksheet. Because we have country data, which is geographic data, I think a nice idea would be to create a world map with the population figures on them. So you need to just bring the country names here and drag the country name and drop it. And then what Tableau does is it actually highlights or identifies the countries that are there in this data set. Now I'm gonna use the population data, so I'm gonna bring the population data here. So as I brought the population data here, now you can see that the size of the bubble has changed. So which means bigger the bubble, the bigger the population size, and smaller the bubble, smaller the population size. But again, if you notice closely, you can see that these are actually totals of the last 50 years, starting from 1968 all the way up to 2017. What we can do, we can bring the year to pages. So it's basically shows the data in a motion chart. You can click on the play button and then the values will be changing. Now you can see that it shows the data for 1968. So in 1968, Australia had only 12 million people. So India had almost 530 million. China had 774 million and a half. And United States have slightly over 200 millions. If you click on this play button, it's gonna change the year automatically, and the bubble size will also change, and the number will also change. So you can see that with every year, there's a change in population, number of population, and it's automatically updating the chart. So you can do it faster. If you click on this, it's going to be faster. This is normal speed and this is slower. So I want to make it faster. So it's actually changing faster now. You can see that the bubbles are getting bigger and bigger. This is the scale. You can change the size of the bubble to make it a bit bigger, just to make it a bit nicer. So I think it's big but not too big, so I think that's okay. So this is 2017. In 2017, India had around 1.34 billion people. China had around 1.386 billion people, and Australia had 24.59 million people. USA had 325.7 million people. That's the latest data that World Bank has on its public database. We can actually remove this if we don't need it. I think there's no use of that, so we'll just remove it. If we want to bring it back, we can bring it back. So we have just created this chart to see the world population by year for each of the countries that we have on our in our data set. All right, we just need to put a title. So this is population, and I'd say world population, and I'm not going to change it because it's going to automatically update. So page name means whatever there is in under the pages. So it's year, so it's going to change automatically. So depending on which year it is. So if we go back, so 1 year, so it's going to go back. See, it's actually updating the year accordingly. and if you want it to go forward, again, it's gonna show you, and you can stop anywhere if you want. If you click on that, it's gonna actually tell you what type of other charts that you can make from this data. So there are different, options. So you can choose from, but I'm happy with the map chart for now. And let's move on to the next chart. So now I'm interested in having a look at the GDP per capita data that we have. So again, by country and also by year. So how can we visualize that in a nice way so that it's actually meaningful and also it's useful? So if you bring the year here, so all the years you can see now that we have, so starting from 68 and all the way up to 2017. Then we can bring in the GDP per capita data to the rows. So you can see that it has automatically created a nice line chart showing the world total GDP per capita, for the last 50 years, ending in 2017. The issue with this chart is that it's still not in the format that I want it to be. I want to see the country-wise data. Because the total is not that useful, and also I want to actually compare between the countries that I'm interested in. So one way to do that is to actually bring the country name to color. So it will actually give colors to all the countries. So now you can actually distinguish between countries. You can see, Monaco and Liechtenstein and Luxembourg and Norway. These are some of the high-income countries. Actually, extremely high-income countries. You can say that compared to some of these ones. But again, this chart is too crowded, maybe not that useful. So we want to make it more useful. So how can I do that? So in Tableau, it's very easy to do it. That's the beauty of Tableau. I can actually click on a particular country and it will show you, only that country, and others will be made lighter, and it will see only this particular country. So maybe Afghanistan is not a good selection because it's almost kind of flat. Let's have a look. So if we select Australia, so you can see Australia, the historical data as well as where it stands today compared to others, and also if you want to compare 2 or 3 countries, you can do that too. So for example, if you want to compare Australia to the USA, so that's United States, you just need to hold on to the control button on your keyboard and select this country. So now you can see that 2 countries. So control on your Windows PC. On my one, it's command. So hold on to your command on Mac or control on Windows PC, and then select the country. And you can select multiple countries. So if I want to add United Kingdom as well, again I have to hold on to command on my MacBook, and then click on the country name that I'm interested in. So now you can see there are 3 countries you can compare. And if you want to add more, you can. So that's one of the ways you can actually compare, which is useful. But if you want to view this, analysis or the visualization from, let's say, from your mobile phone or from your tab, once I actually publish it and make it public, so that or share it with my colleagues, to have a look and gain some insights, it's not much useful because they won't be able to, hold on to a control button and so on. So we can use another option, which is filter. So we can bring the country name to filters, and we can select all, or we can select some if we want, if we don't want to show all the countries. But I'm interested in showing all the countries, so I'm just gonna because all the countries are already selected, so I'm gonna click on OK. So you can see the filter is created. Now I need to show the filter. So it's gonna appear here. So now you can see that all the countries are checked. And if I uncheck all, so the countries disappear. And if I click on one or more countries, they start to appear on the chart. So I think this is better than the previous one because now it removes the ones that you are not interested in and only keeps the ones that you are interested in. So it's cleaner, and also it adjusts the scale. So previously these ones used to be at the bottom somewhere here. Now because it adjusted the scale, now the view is much better. So and it's very easy to compare. So compared to the way we were trying to do before. So one of the things that we learned in the theory section of our class or of our course is that the purpose of data analytics or business intelligence is to analyze the data in a way so that we can actually bring out the information that is meaningful as well as useful. So we have to keep that in mind. So it's not just throwing around some data and doing some visualizations randomly. We always have to think about the usefulness and also how understandable it is for my audience. So basically the stakeholders that I'm creating these charts for, or the visualizations for. So I'm going to keep this, and also I'm going to show you we can actually do a few things here. So if you click on this, you can see that you can have different options for your filter. So you can choose your filter to be a single value list, or a single value drop down, or a single value slider. The one that is here that I just showed you is multiple values list. I think that's the best for this data set, and the way I want to show it, because I want my audience to be able to compare multiple countries. So, and also I think this is good, but I want to actually make it a drop down so that it takes less space, because for the list it takes up a decent amount of space. So I think I'm gonna go with multiple values drop down, so it's gonna take only a little space here. So it's better, especially when I'm trying to design the dashboard, which I'm gonna do in a while. Because this particular thing is not much useful, I can actually hide it. So let's just hide it for now. As I told you earlier, our aim is to make it more meaningful and useful. So let's see what else we can do to make it better, to make it a better visualization. I think we can make it a good motion chart. So let's just do that. So we need to put the year in under pages, as we did before for the other map chart. So now you can see it went back to 1968, and if you want to play it, starting from 1968, so this is how it moves. We want to make it faster, so you can see that this is how all the countries move. So, but it's hard to actually get any meaningful information from here, because all the countries are on top of each other, so there's not much scope to actually for you to understand what's going on here. So so for that we can use the our filter. So we can use our filter to select some countries that we are interested in. So again, we can select Australia. We can select US, UK, and maybe Canada as well. Canada, and why not New Zealand? So let's select these 4 countries, and yeah, sorry, I think there are 5 countries now. So United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and United Kingdom. So you can see in 2017, this is how they look like in terms of GDP per capita. So to make it look better, so what we can do is probably make these bubbles a bit bigger. So let's select this circle, so it's now a bit bigger, and then we can probably add history as well. So if we click on this show history, so and then we can actually select whether only the selected ones or all. So we're interested in all. So then we have we can show it in different ways, whether we want it marks or trails. So I think trails is better than marks, and we can actually change the transparency. So you can actually change it to 50%, so to make it a bit lighter in color, so that it's better looking, and also change the lines, the format of the lines. So I want a dotted line, so we just transform into a dotted line. So we have formatted the history line, and we can do actually both, but I think we don't need both. Just trails is fine. Yeah. So so now if we go back to the start, 1968, and if we play, so this is how it looks like now, which is much nicer and more interesting and more meaningful, I think. So you can make it slower if you want, but I think this speed is good. Yeah, so you can see the values here, and if you want to go back to all countries, you can go back to it anytime, and then you can also play it for all the countries together. I know that's not much meaningful or useful, but you can do that. So anyway, this is last 50 years data, all the countries in the world, 216 countries, and all the GDP per capita data. So in just one chart, and you can interact with this chart the way you want, and you can get the information that you want. So it's very, very robust, at the same time very, very flexible. So I think that's the beauty of using this type of analytics tools. So you can actually get the exact insights that you want to get, and you have the flexibility to interact with your visualizations. So if you compare that to the traditional way of showing this to your audience, you would have made perhaps 216 different charts, and then shared them in a PowerPoint deck, and then also if they were interested, they would have to then ask you to prepare another set of decks comparing different countries. So and then you would have to go back and do that and then share it again. So now you don't have to do any of that. You can prepare this one visualization and then give it to your audience and then they will do whatever they want. They can interact with it the way they want, and they can get the information that they are interested in from this one visualization. All right. With that, we want to move on to our next visualization. All right, I think we forgot to do one thing here, so we need to, we can actually give it a title. Let's say GDP per capita. All right, so GDP per capita. Okay, and again, as I said, this year will change. Yeah, so. All right, let's go to the next visualization. So far, we have done a world map with the population. So you can call it a population map. And then this is the GDP per capita chart or visualization for all the countries. And then we can probably do another visualization for GDP growth. I'm not going to use GDP per capita PPP adjusted because we don't have data for the last 50 years. We have data only from 1990. So I'm going to leave it for now. So for in a similar way, we can do year, and then we can put GDP growth in rows. So again, this is the total, but we're not interested in total. We want to see it by country, so we can bring the country here and add all members, so it gives a different color to each country. And I would like to say one thing here. If you're interested, you can actually change the color. If you're not happy with the color it assigned to a particular country, you can always change it. So for example, if you want to change the color of Afghanistan, you can do that. You just have to double click, and then you can double click here, and you can pick a color from here, any color. So, and then you can click OK, and that color, and if you click OK here, and that color will be assigned. So I'm not interested in that for now, so I'll just leave it. We'll do maybe the filter by country, like we did before. So we'll add all countries, and we'll show the filter. So it's going to appear here, and we're going to remove this one. And yeah, so all the countries in here, you can select the countries that you are interested in. So for example, if you want to compare, if you want to compare Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, USA. So now you can see how they moved. They moved pretty in a very similar way. So they move really very closely, I think. If you take a closer look here, you can see that around or after GFC that took place in 2008, end of 2008, you can see that all the countries except Australia, among these 5 countries, had negative growth rate for a number of years, so till 2010, and then they started to grow again, but Australia had the largest growth for a number of years before New Zealand took over, and others caught up with that, with the growth. So to make it a better working visualization, we can do the same thing. So we can do so we can transform this into a motion chart, and if you bring it to 2017, and then you do the same thing that we did in the previous chart. So then we can add the history, You can do all, and then we need to do a trail. I think that's more understandable if you look at that, and then we can select the same format. So we can do 50%. So yeah. Alright, so that's done. And also you can transform this into a multiple value drop down list, so that takes less space. We don't want to make this too crowded. So now if you go back to 1968 and then start to play, now you can see that you can see the movement, and you can stop anywhere basically. If you want to go back, you can, if you're interested in a particular year, you can do that. You can select the year from here, or you can play and then stop it where you want to stop, and also you can change the countries that you want to compare. So if you want to add in more countries, let's say you want to add in China, you can do that. So so you can, the China appears. Which one? This one is China. So you can see that China had massive growth over the last few decades, and although the growth has slowed down a little bit recently, but still it's growing at a good rate. Alright, so let's have a look at all the different visualizations that we have created so far. So the first one is world population map by year for the last 50 years for 216 countries. And then we have this GDP per capita chart or visualization that shows GDP per capita by year for all 216 countries, and we can choose and compare the countries that we want to. We can select the year that we are interested in, or we can actually have a look at the trend for the last 50 years ending in 2017. And then we have created this GDP growth visualization. Similarly, we can do the comparison for any countries we like, and also we can have a look at the trends. Now we can actually rename this tab, so let's do it. So you can rename it to population, and then change this one to GDP per capita, and then change it to GDP growth. So now I'm going to create a dashboard where I'm going to present all these three different visualizations in one place for my audience. And so we need to click on this tab, which I've just done, and it's going to give you a new dashboard. So this white area is going to be your dashboard. So here's the size. If it is for mobile devices, maybe you don't want it to be too big, but I'm doing it for desktop or maybe for tab. So I'm going to make it a bit bigger. The size that I'm going to choose is maximum size would be 720 pixel height, and width is 1280 pixel, and the minimum I would suggest is half that, so 640 pixel width and 360 pixel in height. So that's my dashboard area. I can now add a title, so let's just add a title here. So I'm going to name this world population GDP per capita and, sorry, this is GDP per capita and GDP growth. So world population, GDP per capita, and GDP growth, and I'm gonna pick central alignment. All right, so the title is done. Now I'm gonna bring in the visualizations that I've just created one by one. So the first one I'm gonna bring in is the population one. So I have to make it floating so that I can resize it and move it around. And I have to also make this one floating as well, so I can move it around. So I have to place it in a way so that I can bring in two more visualizations on this dashboard. So maybe I'll make it this big. So let's bring in the second one. I'll have to make this one floating as well. And here, resize it, maybe. Or maybe a bit smaller because it's, I think, outside the dashboard. I think that's good enough. Smaller, yeah. Now let's move on to the third one. So now I'm gonna reorganize these ones. Alright, so if we select any particular country, so you can see that now all the countries, all the visualizations actually update accordingly. So if we select, you know, 3 countries, so all the visualizations actually show those particular 3 countries, and they change the scale as well accordingly. So the filter is working perfectly, so it's controlling all 3 charts at the same time. But if it is not doing so, you can actually do it. You can just go to apply to worksheets and selected worksheets, then you can select the worksheets that you want to control with this filter. Alright, so and also you can see that the data, they update as well. So if you select 2017, the data for all the visualizations change with this particular, you know, selection. So if you want to play this starting from 1968, so you can see that they all change at the same time, so they all update at the same time. So now I want to save it and export it so that my audience can see it. Well, before I do that, I have noticed that there are, you know, in this map there are 50 values that the Tableau map couldn't identify. So that means one country Tableau couldn't identify. So let's go back and fix this. So if you click here, you can actually see which country it didn't recognize. So it's this country I think it's North Korea. You can click on show all values. So you can see that all the countries have been recognized by Tableau except this one country. This is how World Bank writes down the name for North Korea. So I'm gonna change it to North Korea. And click OK. So now you can see that North Korea has just appeared. So it's fixed now, and you can see that that change has been reflected on the dashboard as well. So any change that you make here or the data, and they're going to appear, the change is going to be reflected on each of these charts and also on the dashboard. So now we just need to save the dashboard, and then we can share it with our audience. So we need to click here and then say save to Tableau Public as. So you need to now log into your Tableau Public account. Sign in. So I'm gonna make it world population GDP per capita and GDP growth. World population, GDP per capita and GDP growth. And I'm going to hit save. So now that we have already saved our work in our Tableau Public account, now we would like to go to our account, log into our account and see how the visualization looks like. Let's log in. So we need to go to Tableau Public. Then we need to click on this button, sign in. To open an account, you need to go here, create one now for free. You just need to put in your name, email address. You need to choose a password, confirm the password, and check this checkbox and click on this button called Create My Profile. And that will create your Tableau Public account. Because I already have that, I'll just simply log in. And that's where basically I saved my work just a few minutes ago. So you can see that already I have two visualizations. They're pretty much the same. I actually hid one, the one that I created before, and this is the one that I've just created and saved. So I'm going to just quickly show you how the visualization looks like. So, well, this is how it looks like. So you can actually interact with this. You can see that there are, each individual chart as well as the whole dashboard. So let's just test it out. Let's pick a country, or a few countries actually. So Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and UK, USA. So I've picked 5 countries, and now I'm gonna so yeah, all the five countries appear here. All right, and let's do another comparison from here. So we'll stick to 2017, and we'll pick Bangladesh, and then we can pick, let's say, India, and maybe Pakistan as well, and then we can take a look at the different statistics here, how they compare to each other. So, so you can see that they are located, next to each other. So India shares border with both Bangladesh and Pakistan. So and it used to be together before the independence from the British colony. Now, if you compare the population, in 2017, India had 1.33 billion people, and Bangladesh had a population of 164.6 million, and Pakistan had 197 million. And if you compare their GDP per capita, Bangladesh had 1,517 US dollar. This is 1,548 US dollar. That's Pakistan, and India had India had $942. So now let's look at the growth rate. So Bangladesh had 7.28% growth in 2017. Pakistan had 5.7. India had 6.68. Maybe we'll go to this particular chart to have a better view. So let's go to that chart. Now we're going to pick the countries that we were talking about. So Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan. So now you have a better view here. So you can see that Pakistan is, if you compare it to India and Bangladesh, it's having a very low growth rate for more than a decade now. Pakistan is having very low growth rate. Actually, since 2000, they're having low growth rate compared to India. And recently, actually, Bangladesh is having a great, growth rate. I think I'd say till 2004, Bangladesh had a growth rate that's below 5%. And after that, actually, the growth rate increased, and then again fell to 5%. I think around 2008-9, and then again it started to grow. So now it's having a high growth rate consistently for a decade. Yeah, so this is how you can actually compare multiple countries and see if you can actually tell a story. So if you're running a global business that has operations across many different countries, then you'd be interested in comparing the profits or costs or performance of any particular product across different countries, or you would be interested in other metrics. So basically, it's helpful for the stakeholders that are actually going to use these dashboards and deliver better results for the shareholders. So with that, I'm going to stop this video, and if you have any comments or any feedback or any questions, feel free to write them in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer them, answer your questions as soon as possible. Till next time, stay well and all the best, and have a good rest of the day. Thank you.